You know that question I often get asked, Nick, if you had all the money in the world, what boat would you buy? Well, it varies a lot, but very much on the hit list would be this. This is the Princess V40. I'll tell you why as we go around the boat, but just to mention, we have filmed one of these before, but this is their 60th anniversary special edition because they're celebrating 60 years of boat building, would you believe? And the differences on this, they're largely cosmetic, but things like these graphics on the side here that extend out of the hull windows, the 60th anniversary on the seats, also bigger engines in this one. There's a few little changes you can see on here. It's got the standard engines being the 340, this is upgraded to 380 horsepower. But yeah, this is a nice bit of kit. What I like about this is it's a very manageable size. Two people could handle this very, very comfortably. One experienced person could probably cope with this on their own, to be honest. It's a nice bit of kit. This one's got the high-low platform, which is an option, but the other thing it's got is the sunbed on here. So the standard boat, in fact, I can show you easiest on here. The standard boat has the seating like this, and on this one they've extended the seating to give you the sunbed at the back, and the tender then goes back underneath it. But it means that this section here is a sliding section. I'll show you that as we go on board. So yeah, when your tender's on, it goes underneath there. There's a locker underneath there as well. In fact, I'll show you that. We need to look at everything, don't we? There we go, really decent sized deck locker down underneath there, which is very helpful. I have a feeling you can access that from inside as well. I'm not certain, but I've got a feeling you can. So this is this sliding section. You can see the tracks for it here, so that whole thing will move right back across to there to give you a nice sunbathing area on the back. I think that's a nice extra to have, that one. There's a deck shower here. But when I think of the kind of boating that I do, the idea of this in Brixton with us all sat around having our fish and chips on the back, this would be perfect, wouldn't it? I say it's a manageable size, but it's a proper offshore boat. Let's have a wander on through a bit further. There is a bar area here with the grill and the sink, of course. That just lifts up. There we go. Looks a bit more pleased to see us now, doesn't it? Yeah. And underneath here, there is bin, and there is storage underneath there, and then let's try it again. There we are. A really big, useful locker underneath there. You could probably get a life raft in there, I would imagine, if you wanted to. That's very helpful. And yeah, look at all this seating around here. Folding table, so you can make that half the size. Yes, that is the access back through to that locker that we saw from the transom. So if your tender is on the back, you can still get to it. Very helpful. What I like about this is it's the smallest of the Princess range, but it doesn't feel in any way compromised in terms of the quality. You've still got the same kind of upholstery, the same kind of woodwork, the same kind of lighting. It just feels like a big Princess scaled down, and that's what's nice. It doesn't feel like a cheaper boat. You can see we've got the canopy section on here. You can take that off or leave it on for a bit of sunshade, but also there are sections that go in around this so that you can completely enclose this whole back end. So this whole cockpit area becomes effectively an inside space. And the other thing we've got is a sliding roof. So this whole fabric section here, that will all power back to give you an open boat when you want it. There's a sliding side window there as well. Nice seating area up alongside the helm. That's brilliant because it's raised up compared to this one. So you've got a great view when you're underway, even when the boat's up and planing. And then the double helm seats here, again with a 60 years logo on there as well. New steering wheel, straighten that one up. Here we go, perfect. This is on outdrives, but it has the joystick control as well. So what that does is it configures the drives in and out of gear, but also the angle. It can angle the drives separate to each other, it can vector them separately. So you can actually drive the boat sideways with that. If you push it to the side, the whole boat will just literally move sideways. So for manoeuvring, that is absolutely brilliant. Your normal throttle controls are here. You've got trim tabs, you've got VHF radio, you've got the fire system here as well. It's in the engine room, so you can monitor that. Autopilot on this one. This is giving you your heading and your speed and your depth, revs, compass, usual kind of stuff, and then the multifunction display is here. So this is taking you into charts and radar and whatever else you want to set it up to be doing. Chord depth, no, let's leave that. So if we zoom out on that, it doesn't have a chart in it at the minute, so it's not very detailed close in, but you can see basically what that does. It's navigation once it's got a chart in. Bow thruster controllers here, helm indicator, very useful, tells you which way your outdrives are pointed when you're steering. That's the control for the roof, and then you've got switches for lighting and pumps and horn and all that kind of stuff across there. That is excellent. That little chap is a drop down section, so if you want to stand at the helm you can put that down, and then you can stand with your head up through the roof when it's open and get really good visibility when you are manoeuvring and berthing. Let's put that one back and let's press on a little bit further. But yeah, that's a nice space, isn't it? When you're underway and there's maybe 3 or 4 or 5 of you on the boat, you can all gather there. You're under the shade of the windscreen, you've got the roof open, you've got the fresh air. Just a lovely place to be. But this, I think, is where this boat is special. It's a 40-foot boat, it's not massive, and yet when you come down here, this is exactly what I mean about the quality being the equal of the bigger boats. You could go on to a 70-foot Princess, and you'd find exactly the same woodwork. This one's been done in the walnut, the matte finish or satin finish walnut, which I think looks fantastic. A lot of these are going for the light finishes now, and you can get this with the light finish. You can get it with an oak finish if you want it. But I actually think that works because there's not too much of it, and it's just classy. I like that. I would be very, very happy with that. They put a big skylight in the ceiling here, so you get a ton of light into this space, and then a really nice dinette. It's height adjustable, so you can drop that down. I'm going to guess there's an infill cushion to go on there, so if you want to use that as sleeping you can do, but there are 2 cabins. Big hull windows on here, you can see those, and there's blinds that drop down. That's what these chaps along here are for, and this is storage. Up in behind here and behind here we have AV equipment, we have the bar for your stemware. It's all so proper, isn't it? It's a real quality job, and this is what I like about it. It's a compact boat, it's a manageable boat, it's easy for 1 or 2 people to handle, and yet you don't feel like you're on a cheap boat. And to be fair, you know, it's not a cheap boat. It's not pretending to be, it's pretending to be a quality boat. Well, actually it's not pretending, it is a quality boat, and that is the key to this. That's why I like it. It's a bit like buying, this is the smallest, cheapest in the range, but it's a bit like buying the smallest, cheapest Rolls Royce or the smallest, cheapest Bentley. You're still getting a Rolls Royce or a Bentley. With this, you're still getting a Princess. And that, I think, is the key to it. The way these are aligned, everything about it, just superb. We have up here the distribution panel, and the Fusion stereo is in that one. So this is giving us the 12 volt DC and also the 240 volt power here as well. So everything running on the 240 volt is switched from here. So the barbecue, the cooker top, the microwave, the water heater, all switched from there. On this side, this is giving us lighting, stereo, the freshwater system, the cool box, nav lights, all the stuff that will run from the boat's batteries basically is on this side. Everything that runs from the shore power is on this side. We've also got water contents gauge here, and the holding tank gauge. Battery status is on here, and also the main battery switches themselves are here as well, which is very convenient. You might notice there's 2 fridges. There's a fridge here and there's a fridge here. That's because the fridge will run off the 12 volt, but when you plug in the shore power, if that's switched on, it changes over automatically and runs off of the 240 volt. Look at this glass splashback here and this beautiful finish. It's just lovely. All of this stuff is just lovely. The stainless steel work on here, fantastic. I'd really rate these. Okay, let's press on forward. The owner's cabin is in the bow on this one, and it's here. Look at that. So it's an island bed, centrally mounted. You're not squeezed up to one side. You've got proper big, beautifully lined and illuminated wardrobes. Again, the hull windows. Again, the storage up in behind here. But again, the beautiful finishes. You know, there's no bare GRP in here. Look at the way they finished the headboard across here with the stainless steel trims. We've got plenty of light into here because we've got the overhead opening hatch plus the glass skylight there as well. There's of course blinds that slide across there and blinds that drop down over the sides. Little dressing table tucked away here, again all beautifully finished. It's just nice. And the softest of soft closes. We'll come back later to see if it's shut. TV's in here, and there's also big drawers under the bed. There we are. Fabulous. I do like a girl with big drawers. Let's move on. There is just the one heads on this one. So it's a day heads and it's the ensuite to this cabin. Got to remember we're on a 40-foot boat here. But it's a big one. So again, you don't feel compromised. You've got a proper separate shower area. You've got the loo in here and the nice sink. Again, storage tucked away in places like this. It doesn't feel cramped. It just feels like a nice big usable space. If you're on this boat for a week, you wouldn't be going there thinking, oh, I hate this tiny little toilet. It's absolutely fine. Look, it's shut. It's found its way closed. And look at this. These rubber sections in here to make sure it doesn't rattle. Fantastic. That's the door then to be able to use that as a day heads. So that's straight in off of the saloon area. And the mirror wave, of course, is in that one. Fabulous. Okay, back a bit further. We will reverse on around. Oh, I'm going to show you underneath here. More storage, nicely lined, gas struts. Proper job, isn't it? That's a lovely space, isn't it? And then back here, guest cabin. So what they've done with this is this runs back underneath this section here. So you see this seating area around here, and then this step down here and it goes across. That seating area is giving us this lobby area that goes around here. So you've got full height as you come into here. You can see me in the mirror. And then this bit here is this bit here. And then this floor where it dips down again is this here. Now we had this set up as a double bed, but you can slide this one across and make this into two singles. So a very useful area. And actually when you step down here, it's not standing headroom of course, but when you're down here, you've still got decent space. You can still sit up in bed. It's a light, bright cabin. There are hull windows that extend right back here. And you can see the opening section in behind the blind there. So again, it's compact, it's a 40-foot boat, of course it is, but it's not cramped, and that's the key. Nothing on this boat feels compromised. I think it's fantastic. Look at this. This massive locker here. That is the infill cushions of that table. It does drop to make a double. I thought it did. So we've got the hanging rail there, but we've also got shelving in here as well. You can see it up through there. And then again, nice big hull window on this side, lots of natural light. Nice settee, tuck yourself away. But as I say, when you're in this area here, full standing headroom. So you can come in here, you can get changed, you can have a seat here, and then you drop down into bed. Like that. That works. I think that works well. They've just not tried to cram too much in. That's what I like. Everything breathes easily, as top journalists are noted to say. There we are, drawers there. So again, if you're away with another couple for a week, they've got plenty of space in here, plenty of storage, plenty of room to put things away. But it's just the two of you, it's a really, really good overflow cabin for a bit of extra storage. Put some stuff in there. Absolutely ideal. I like that a lot. Big drawer underneath there. More storage there. Did I show you that? I think I did. Fantastic. That is the interior, I think. Fairly well covered, but it's nice, isn't it? Let's come right back, take a last look at it, and we'll head on. This is a sliding door, so that's what closes this area off. It all works though, doesn't it? It all works. Stereo speakers up in here. That is the button for the high-low bathing platform. There's a door here to close off the, there we go, close off the cockpit like that. What's in there? Manual bilge pump, and you can pump from either the forward bilge which is that one, or the engine bilge. You've also got the valves there for shutting off the fuel to the port engine, starboard engine and the generator, and that's it's got fire system in the engine room, and you can fire that off manually from there if you need to. So it's a safety locker basically. Let's close that back again. There we go. These are little deck lights here, and then we can come up onto the side. This is another thing that's changed. This has got the spray finish on here now, which is lovely. That's very classy in the metallic silver. Radar. The flying saucer is TV antenna. We've got searchlight up here as well. We've got navigation lights, communications antenna, horns are up here. And this is this sliding roof section. So this whole section here, because it's fabric, will concertina back and give you a massive opening. Obviously, if you had a hard roof, you could only go back as far as it could slide into, but with the fabric roof, you can get a much bigger aperture there. Works well. Big one-piece windscreen, sunbathing up here on the bow, and these are lift sections at the back. So if you want to sit up a bit, you can't. Okay, those are not lift sections at the back. Kind of look like they should be, don't they? Let's clip that back down quickly and pretend that never happened. There we go. I'll edit that out later. Those hatches over the forward cabin, and we've got anchor handling kit up here. We've got the anchor chain locker, but also you've got space there for fenders. There's a fender rack in there, and so forth. There we are, anchor on the bow. But yeah, that's a bit of me, that is, isn't it? Let's go all the way around. It's a nice boat to walk around. Nice thick rails on here as well. It does feel solid, and nothing kind of wobbles around. It doesn't feel like it's going to give way. Handrails up here too. All nice and practical. There we go. That's the GPS antenna. And then we'll come right on back. Steps to take us all the way around. And then we'll come back across the back, and we'll take a look in the engine space. Did I mention deck shower? That's in there. Again, you can see those low-level lighting all the way around here. That's what the little silver fellows are for. But you've also got overhead lighting as well. Good. Let's have a look in here. This is the last thing. Again, more space for fenders. Again, with being a compact boat, they've tried to use every area as best they can. Now we're at a boat show, so we're starting to see some of the gear that's been tucked away. That flight bag there is all the instruction books that come with it. Normally that's inside, but they've moved it down here out of the way. But if we open that, you'll see it's cram full. Every single bit of kit that's fitted to this boat, from the fridge to the navigation, will have an instruction book, and every single one will be in there. So that comes with it when you buy it. Let's put that back up through there. Come on, there we are. Okay, engines then. So I mentioned 340s are standard. This is upgraded to the D6 380s. But again, it's a nice get-atable space. For a boat of this size, you can get down here, you can get around these engines, and that works really well. Speeds of these, your mid-30s with these engines. I think Princess are giving 34 to 36 knots with these engines. So cruising really mid-20s very, very comfortably, and you're probably going to get a couple hundred miles of range with this sort of boat. It's pretty typical at this sort of size. All this silver stuff here, padded stuff, is sound deadening. And again, very Princess. Can you see how every hose and every wire has got the blue label on? It's telling you where it's from and where it's going. So from a maintenance point of view, that's really, really helpful. Generators down here, that's just a little chap by my knees. And those are battery boxes, and you can see again, they're ventilated, and they're making sure the batteries are properly protected and tucked away. You can see there possibly the start batteries and auxiliary batteries are in there. Fuel tanks are in here. That is a very useful space. As I say, it's compact. It is a small boat. We have to keep coming back to this. It's a 40-footer, but for a 40-footer, I think they've done a great job. That is the fire system, so it's automatic. If there's a fire, it would set itself off automatically, but if you needed to set it off manually, you can do, and that's what we saw with that fire release was for. It is connected to this cable here. Look at this. Generator exhaust drain, for example, on there, everything is labelled. You can see it down over here. All those blue labels. It's telling you what they're for. There we go. That, I think you'll agree, is a nice bit of kit. And as I mentioned, you know, it is like buying the smallest Aston Martin or the smallest Porsche. You're still buying an expensive bit of kit. There's no doubt about it, and it's a quality bit of kit. So if your priority is to get the cheapest 40-foot sports cruiser you can, you're not going to be buying this. But if your priority is to get the best, well, then this is probably going to be on your list. Let's come back up forward and we'll finish off up on the bow. And there we go. What do you think? That's a bit of me, isn't it? Smuggler's Blues 3? Maybe Smuggler's Blues 6, who knows? Huge thanks to Princess Motor Yacht Sales for organising that tour, and huge thanks to you guys for watching it. Let me know what you think of that one in the comments, and we'll catch you on one of these real soon. Take care. Bye bye.